You're looking at a close-up of a book called Henry Darrow, Lightning in the Bottle, and boy, is he lightning. He is great. He's, you remember, as a Manolito from High Chaparral, is an Emmy winner. First Puerto Rican to appear in a regular TV series as a star in that series. And I'm also going to show you a shot of this. You'll say, what are you holding up a cartoon for? The Lone Ranger Zorro Hour, yeah. A great, well-crafted animated thing that Henry did the voiceover for.
Yeah, the producer was a guy named Lou Scheimers.
Yeah, great, very creative folks.
Yeah, and I remember doing some of the dialogue by myself. There was no interplay, as you had mentioned before.
Right.
And I found that strange. I had no idea that
more challenging to do voiceover when you can't react to something?
Well, yeah, and what happens is the director would say, Henry, we don't need any little special things. He says, just cut that. That's garbage. Just cut it. Just say the dialogue.
I was going to introduce you as Henry Delgado, which is your real name.
Enrique Delgado.
But then people would say, wait a minute, that's Henry Darrow. That's not Henry Delgado. Did you catch any flack from the Hispanic and Latino community when you changed your name to act?
No, when I changed it from Delgado to Darrow, I was still a wonderful nobody. And he continued to be a nobody as Darrow. No. But it worked out okay because when I first came from Puerto Rico, there were friends that I met here in Hollywood and said, you know, pass yourself off as a Mexican. I said, why? He said, well, there are more Westerns than Mexicans. There are more Westerns than Puerto Ricans. You don't find too many PRs from New York in a Western.
I'm going to come back to that in just a second. But before I forget, I want to ask you, what was the first school play you remember ever acting in? What role or play? Or,
I was a forest guy with an axe. And this was one of the schools in New York City. We walked into the auditorium. My aunt Sauro took me down the hall and into the arena area, and I had rehearsed something about being
You were a woodsman?
A woodsman, yeah.
Well, good. I guess they didn't cut anything out of there then because you had the axe.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you, you know, I'm thinking, and maybe this is an overstatement, but the secret to your success, it seems, is that, yes, you're a leading man and all this, but you could play a really bad guy. You could play a really good guy. Is that sort of why you've lasted so long and been so popular and so in demand?
I think so. And one of the things I did with Manolito from High Chaparral was I used two of my favorite Shakespearean characters. One was Iago from Othello.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one was Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet. And Romeo was a fun-loving kind of guy, like I feel I am on camera. Yeah. And Iago was a little more serious, a little more dark. He was darker, and I got a chance to play Iago in California, theater called Venice. It was called Theater by the Sea.
Right, right.
Because it was right on the beach.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you prefer plays or films or television?
Actually, at this particular point, my memory is so shot, I have a little touch of dementia, that the best thing I can do is that some producer from Wilmington said, Henry, can you read cue cards? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, I would hire you then. And so
when you were doing all three almost at once some years ago, plays, you were on stage, you're on film, you're on TV.
It was fabulous. I just felt
Did you like being in the live audience?
Oh, yeah. The live audience was the best.
Why did you like playing in Western so much?
I didn't. It was just something new. The first time I got on a horse was in New York City.
You didn't even know how to ride then?
No, I didn't know. I rode in Central Park. I got off the horse to see what was wrong, and he ran back to the barn.
Maybe he was trying to tell you something.
Yeah, that was my first experience. Luckily, that never happened on Chaparral that I can recall.
One quick serious question. Do you think that Latinos, Hispanics are well represented in Hollywood now or underrepresented?
Oh, I think they're fairly well represented. There are many more Hispanic actors that are in series and doing things. I was in a series called Revolution, yeah. Revolution Boulevard, and everybody in it was Hispanic, and I got a chance to work with Rita Moreno, who's from Puerto Rico.
Oh, man.
Years before, there was a movie with Geraldine Page called Summer and Smoke. Mm-hmm. And I remember the assistant director was saying, "Okay, we need somebody to dance." And I was a day player back then. "We need somebody to dance with Miss Moreno." And by the time I thought for about 10 seconds, the guy already was up and twirling her around. And 35, 40 years later, I'm doing an episode of Revolution, and I tell my story to her, and she starts to cry. I said, "You know, I've waited 40 years to dance with you, lady." I said, I never raised my hand in time.
Well, that, as we wrap up here, and I don't want to take too much of your time,
No,
that
go
reminds
ahead.
me of you being such a ladies' man. I had to,
Isn't that something?
You are a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Let me read this. This is called, this is a true story. One of your early films was called, quote, Revenge of the Virgins. It
That
was
was
a topless Western. Now,
Yes.
was it the women that went topless or you went topless?
No, the women went topless, but however, back then they ran naked from the waist up, but behind trees that were so thick you couldn't see anything.
You couldn't see anything.
You couldn't even see their
Well, I'm so
eyes.
disappointed. I was going to. Anyway, folks, I want you to get this book. It's a great book.
It's well written.
Oh, it is.
Jan
And Jan
Pippins
Pippins
is
did this.
excellent.
It's get it, please. You can get it from Amazon and anywhere you want to get it. And it's a great read. It's a fast read. It tells a lot of great stories about you and the industry and the culture and everything.
Yeah.
And I know you're busy. You've got to go to an event here at the Western Film Festival, and I can't thank you enough for being with us.
Thank you, my friend.
Henry Delgado.
Appreciate it. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Take care. Adios. Hasta luego.